As you all know, I got my computer back from the FBI. And you also all know they took everything I had about Stitch. The case. Repetitive routine. Everything. After my computer shut off and I looked through all these pictures, I turned it back on. I got past the loading screen and onto my desktop, but the wallpaper was different. Before I had a picture of a Norwegian countryside. But then, it was just black. I tried opening different programs, but nothing worked. Every now and then, I would think that I saw something in the wallpaper move. I just ignored it, wrote it off as my eyes playing tricks on me. The brain is extremely susceptible to tricks, considering how exhausted and tired I've been lately. I figured my mind was just too weak to avoid the tricks. I began to get frustrated, so I got up to go get some water. I walked back to my kitchen, and I saw a face on my computer screen. It was repetitive routine. I sat down on my computer and just stared at him. He stared back. He began talking. "Hello, Ryan," he said. "What do you want?" I asked. I understand replying to him so casually might sound crazy to you people. It even sounded crazy to me, but I did it anyways. I didn't realize I was doing it at the time. I was just so tired. But oh well. What's done is done. He didn't respond, he just kept staring at me. "Tell me why you're here, or I'll unplug my computer," I demanded. "Go ahead. Unplug it." "I won't leave," he said with a slight chuckle. "Why do you keep informing these readers about this? Do you really need to know about Stitch and I? I'm informing them because maybe someone can help me catch him. Kill him, maybe. Kill you now, too. There's no way that we can take him alive. He doesn't have any weakness. I've seen him get stabbed twice. He's even ripped out his own rib from his chest and laughed it off," I yelled. "Everything has a weakness," Repetitive said. "You just have to look hard enough." I got up and walked away from my computer, and as I walked away, I heard Stitch in the background.
"Where are you going, Ryan? I just got here. That's not very friendly,"
he yelled, while his demonic booming low voice laughing maniacally.
Did I scare you?
I came back to my computer and sat in my chair. Stitch was staring at me now, and Repetitive Routine was behind him, pinned against a wall or something in midair. He had a giant spike right through his neck, holding him in place. He was grabbing at it and struggling to get it off. I could see his femurs and kneecaps. Below his knees were gone, and skin, meat, and bones were left hanging, sticking out of there. Still fresh. The spikes on either side of his neck holding his chains like a dog collar and leash were still on, and Stitch. The cross burned into his chest from the holy water was still there. His rotting teeth, his bone-crooked nose, and the dirty skin sewn over his eyes. I almost puked just from looking at him. "I'm going to kill you, you know," I said. "I'm so close."
"I could have killed you 6 times already, Ryan,"
he said. "Why didn't you?" I asked.
"Do you want to know the truth?"
he said, laughing. I nodded, hesitantly.
"You bring people fear. I thank you for that. It makes me stronger, makes them weaker. I can smell people. I can smell them in California, Canada, Germany, England, Florida, and I'm coming for them all. Every last one of them. And I have you to thank for all these new toys,"
he said, while rubbing his face and neck with his hands and smiling. "I'm gonna kill you first! Killing you is the only thing I have to live for now!" I yelled at him, unplugging my computer. I just turned it back on to write this. This is where I am now. 4 hours later. I killed John. I told him to come over to do some research, and I shot him. I ruined his life, bringing him into this case. There was no way that he was going to be able to live without the fear and depression this caused him. I caused him. I'm looking at his body right now through my terrified and guilt-ridden tears. I can't take this anymore. There's blood everywhere, spatters on the wall from when the bullet left his skull. He's lying in a pool of his own blood. It's drying now, crusted to my floor. There's an entry wound right in the middle of his forehead. The blood around it is bright red against his now dead, pale skin. What have I done? There's a family picture on the wall from when I was about 5 years old. There's blood on that too. He sat down on my couch. There's blood on that too. And then I just pulled the gun out right in front of him and put it right on his forehead. He started crying and we were both yelling, "No, Ryan, please don't do this," he yelled at me. "I'm sorry, John. I'm so sorry," I said, sobbing. He dropped to his knees and begged me not to do anything that I'd regret. He grabbed onto my shirt and looked up at me, and he was sobbing as much as I was. "Please, Ryan, don't do this," he wept. "I'm sorry," I kept repeating. He let go of my shirt and looked up at me again. "Ryan," he asked, "am I going to be okay?" I hesitated before I said, "Yes." Tears kept streaming down my face, my hands were shaking, and I couldn't stop crying. "Do you promise?" he said. "Yes," I replied. I wiped the tears off of my face, looked down at him, wiped a few off of his face. "Can you tell my mom I love her?" I nodded at him. "Yeah," I said. My voice was shaking too. I looked at him through my tears. Our eyes met. I shot him right through his forehead. He fell to the ground. His eyes were still open, staring at me hours later. They're so dead and empty. I watched the life drain out of them. I didn't bring me the release of guilt I thought it would. Now they're just staring at me. Scolding me, almost. There's no life in them now. They're just pale and empty, unmoving, disturbing. His mouth is open too, with a little bit of blood dripping out the corner. And now, I'm gonna kill myself. I can't live with the guilt of killing John, Anna, and repetitive routine, and everyone else Stitch claims from here on out. I apologize to all of you. I never meant for this to happen. We didn't know what we were dealing with. The FBI knows about Stitch and everything. Maybe they'll be able to stop him. I have already called the cops and told them what I did and what I plan to do. And I can hear the siren. I have the gun in my hand. This is going to be my last post. Be careful. Stitch is still out there. Somewhere. Hunting you down. Perhaps he's even watching you right now. And you will never even know it. Goodbye.